Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sébastien. Generative AI, I guess you have heard this word a lot, even more than a lot those days. You may have heard as well a lot of applications in the retail world or in the press industry, for example. I'm going to show you, because I really like to show and to do things, I'm going to show you a topic where generative AI can be applied, which concerns absolutely everybody in VivaTech. And I'm talking about code development. Everybody is concerned by code development here, because even if you are not a developer, you are maybe a manager of developer, you are maybe a CFO of a company who has developer, and boosting the productivity of your developer, I guess, is a topic for everybody. My name is Sébastien Garzini. I'm a solution architect in AWS, and I will show you a service named Amazon Code Whisperer. So, the idea is that generative AI is a technology which is possible today due to the enhancement of computing power in general, which allows us to train specific models with a lot of parameters. I will not enter technical details. This is not the objective of my speech. But the idea is that before, you have developers that spend a lot of time coding, of course, but also outside of their IDE, their environment of development, because they had to find out the documentation of this API, or they have to train themselves, they have to figure out how this system is working. And today, what we propose with generative AI is really a coding companion, which allows not to go out of your environment. And who says that when we say you don't go out, it also means that you can stay focused on what you are doing. And this is the point. When I am a developer myself, I was a developer. When you go out of your coding environment to check how an API is working, you take the risk to go on LinkedIn, for example, because you have a notification, etc. Or you just even lose the focus on what you are doing. And there are studies showing that when you are focused, you are more productive. So, Code Whisperer, it works with, it generates code. It's a tool that will generate code for you. It doesn't mean you don't have to think about what is generated, of course. It's not magic, and it requires you that you verify things. It works with several languages. So we support the mainly I don't want to say all languages, but the most used languages today. So we have Python, and this is a very nice tool because data scientists, sometimes they are very good in math. They know Python, but they do prefer to think about algorithms than to write code. And this will help them a lot in Python. We support Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, etc. And as I told you, it's a coding companion. So it means that it will write code for you, and we don't want you to get out of your environment. So it means we need to support coding environment, and we support the major one on the market, meaning Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ, etc. It's not Code Whisperer is not only a coding companion. We also have other features like reference tracking, for example. So reference tracking, it means that when Code Whisperer will generate code for you, it will be also able to check if this code already exists somewhere and under which license. So it can warn you if you are reusing a code which comes from the internet and which looks like something which is under a license, so that you know what you are doing, and if you don't want to use this code, you can stop it. It's also a security scanner, because you may be a bit worried when you use code which is generated by artificial intelligence. What if there is a security issue with this code? So in the same tool, we provide a security scanner that will help you to detect if there is a security leakage in your code. And I will show you that one as well. And we also have bias avoidance. So this is not a service we provide to you, but it's just to say that it's not just like if we train algorithms on code we find and we don't check what is going on. We have engineers in AWS which are working on bias avoidance, meaning we try to do our best, thanks to human, so that the code generated is not a bad code, or a code with backdoors, or I don't know what can be security leakage, etc. I will make you a demonstration. Even if you don't know how to code, you can enjoy this demonstration. I will give you the scenario, but the idea is that we will write a script, but we will not write a script. Code Whisperer will write the script for us. I will need you to focus a bit. And here it is. So when I use Code Whisperer, what is arriving here is that I have my environment. You can see here. And you can see that there are text which is written in light gray. The text written in light gray, indeed, is the code which is proposed to me by Code Whisperer. So it's important. So it's important that you understand that, so that you can enjoy the demonstration. Because in the demonstration, you will see codes which is like that, meaning normal code that I write or that I validate. And then this part is the one which is proposed by Code Whisperer. How does it work? Once I do install a plugin on my environment, when I use Code Whisperer, I can, for example, type a comment. And in the comment, I explain what I want my function to do. And Code Whisperer will make a proposal to me. And if I press left or right key, I can access to other proposals. And this is exactly what you will see. Let's talk about the scenario. I hope you can enjoy it even if you are on the side. So it's Friday evening. I want to spend. I don't have the kids tonight, and I want to spend a nice evening with my wife. Unfortunately, my boss just come and tell me, Sebastian, I need you to save the company. And to save the company, I want you to write a script, to write a program which is able to recognize celebrities on picture, and this will save our companies. But still, I want to go with my wife at the restaurant and enjoy my evening. So I need the tool to boost my productivity. So maybe you don't know, and indeed you will see that you don't even need to know that. We have a service on AWS which is named Recognition, and which is able to recognize celebrities on picture. But honestly, I may ask a question. How many of you are developers? Code developers. Okay. How many of you, so half the attendance, how many of you think they are able to code a script to recognize a celebrity on a picture without going on the internet? Nobody. And this is exactly what I propose you to do right now. So what you can see is that I have my environment. I installed the plugin, you will see, and I have pictures in a folder. So I have a picture of Jeff Bezos, I have a picture of Werner Vogel, which is the CTO of Amazon, and I have one picture which is named MG, one picture which is named WC. I will not show those pictures so that we don't know who is on the picture. Then, of course, I'm a developer. I already have my environment set up. Also, I installed the AWS libraries, of course. So don't be surprised. I have the CLI, what we call the command line interface. Everything is set up. So first thing that I need to do is to connect to be able to use Code Whisperer. So in order to do this, I go to the AWS plugin, which is already installed. I click on it, and then I see that I need to connect myself. And I will use an AWS Builder ID. A Builder ID is an ID that you can create that will follow you during your career. And I want to connect with my Builder ID. I have one. And Visual Code Studio Code asks me if I want to go on the website to authorize Visual Studio to be connected to my Builder ID. I just accept. As you can see, that's pretty straightforward. And by doing this, I set up the connection between my development editor and my builder ID, so I know that it's Sébastien who is using this plugin. You can see here that now on AWS Builder ID, I am connected. Then once we did that, what we will need to do is to create a Python script. I will code in Python the software that will save my company. So I just create a file named script.py and it will contain the code. So I create the script, of course, and then I will start to write the code. What I do, I am just, because I want to, importing two libraries. One is OS, this is, let's say, the most used library in Python, and the second one is Boto3. Boto3 is the AWS SDK. So then, doing this, I orient the algorithm that, of course, will know that I prefer to use solutions in those libraries. And that's it. You will see this is the only code that I will write for this demonstration. I wrote 2 lines of code. Now what I will do, I will write a first comment. First thing that I want to do, if I want to recognize celebrities on images, I will ask to code a function that is able to recognize celebrities on images. And so I will just write a comment. So I write function to return celebrities name. You can see that it already proposed me things which are not suitable on an image. I press enter and you can see that immediately it starts to propose code. I don't write this one, it's in light gray. So it proposed me some code. I'm a developer, I know what I'm doing, so I press right, left. I choose the code that I do want. And that one sounds great, but it's not over. So you see, I press enter, and it just continues to propose code to me, and I just accept. I forgot to say, to accept, I press the tab key. So I accept. You can see, he proposed, I select, and I accept. And if you know, so I remove the print because I don't want to print the thing, I want just to return. And if you know Python, you can read this code and you will know that this code is working. It's calling recognition services. You can see it here, client recognition, and it returns the celebrity name. What is incredible to me, at least, is that we never ask him to use recognition. We say we want to recognize the celebrity. He proposed the solution, and it wrote the code. Once we did have this function, second thing we would need to do is to get the list of images in a folder. So same thing, I just write the command, function to return celebrity, no, function, sorry. So he proposed me things to get the list, to return the list, the image, okay, I don't remember what I wrote, the images list in a directory. It proposed me directory, I accept. I press return, and it just starts to propose me code. So here is the function name. It suits well to my need. I accept it. I press enter. It continues to propose codes. I select the one who looks good to me. And that's it. I have my second function. Once again, I did not write a line of code. Next thing that I will need to do is to write the main function, the main function of my program. So what I will do, I will write a very, very simple comment, which is main function. I write main function, and it returns the name of the function correctly. And then what is nice here is that the system understands from the context what I want to do, and so it just proposed me some codes. What is also very interesting is that you can see that here it proposed directly to take the images from this directory. You understand that there is this directory, so the code is dependent on my context. Once again, if you look, I'm not writing code, I'm just accepting things here, eventually removing lines that I don't like, and that's it. I have my main function. Last thing, he proposed me to call this main function. And we do have a script. We wrote 2 lines of code at the beginning, just the 2 imports. Question, do you think this script is working? Let's check. So here I am in my terminal, and I will launch a script. Will this script be able to recognize celebrities on pictures? So here is the name of the image and the name of the celebrity. It works, there is no mistake. WC was Winston Churchill, MG was Michael Jordan, and of course Jeff Bezos was Jeff Bezos, and Werner Vogels was Werner Vogels. So we wrote a script without knowing the API, without really writing line of code. Now what if I want this script to go one step further and to return JSON? JSON is a very well used way to handle data. So I want to use JSON. Am I able to do it? I will do exactly the same that I did before. I write a comment, function to return a JSON. And you can see that he even complete the comment, and you know what I want to do even, so I just accept everything. And sometimes I select, I make a selection between proposals. And here we have our function to get the data on the JSON form. And we go back to the main in order to integrate that new function in the main. And here, as you can see, once again, he got the context. He immediately proposed me to use the newly written function. I accept. I print. I want to write. You understand that it's nice once you generate JSON, maybe you want to store it in a file. So he proposed me codes to store that in a file, which I accept because I think this is exactly what I want to do in the end. Let's try. Yeah, I need to import. So the third line of code that I have to write is to import the library, but in reality I didn't wrote it because he proposed me to import the library. And let's try this newly written script. Oh, pardon. So here was the previous part that we did wrote. Now we will see if we did generate JSON correctly. Yes, we have JSON. And then I can show you the file that we did wrote, which contain the JSON. Pretty impressive. What if I don't want, I already have code and I want to generate comments because I didn't wrote comments on that code and I'm not able to understand this code anymore. Let's see if it can work, and I propose you to do it on our main function. So here I put a dash because it's the way to write comment in Python, and you can see that Code Whisperer proposed me to write comment linked to the code which is just under. So I select the one that I want, and this is the first proposal. I will reformat it because I don't like to have that length of line. And I have comments which are written automatically. I will read because maybe not everybody is able to read, but if I read you the comment just to show that it's a real one, here the comment says get the celebrity's name on each image in a directory and store it in a JSON file. So it's exactly what we did in that line. Now we know that Code Whisperer can write code, can propose code can propose comments. What about the security scanning? So what I will do for the security scanning, I will tell you a secret. This code is secured according to Code Whisperer. So what I did also, I took a code that one of my colleagues wrote just to test it with Code Whisperer security scanner. So we can check with a code which is generated and the code that was written by that guy. Literally, I'm not joking. So here it is. So we got the code generated by Code Whisperer. We go inside the plugin here. And you can see that there is run security scan. I do run security scan and completed without any issue. So the code generated in that case didn't contain an issue. Now, if I open a code that was written previously, this code is indeed a code that opens an SQL connection to a database and run an SQL request. So very simple code, some line of code. Simple one, you import a library, connect to the DB, connect to your cursor, execute the query, etc., etc. If I do run the security scan, what will happen? What will happen is that Code Whisperer will figure out that there is an issue with this code, and the issue is that we allocate resources that we did not release. And indeed, I open a connection to my database, but I don't close that connection. So Code Whisperer was able to detect that with his security scan. I have a good news for you. Good news for you. The good news is that Code Whisperer is free to use for individual developers. We have two versions of Code Whisperers. One which is individual, one which is enterprise, and the individual one is free to use. And why I think it's very good, it means that you can go home tonight, you all have a computer, I guess, you just open your computer and you can start to play with Code Whisperer absolutely for free in minutes. So you have QR codes, one to get started, one to which is a link to our Dive Deep workshop, and another one which is a YouTube video. It's a demonstration on Code Whisperer to create more complicated system than I just show you. So you can really build an event-driven serverless application using Code Whisperer, and this is exactly what the YouTube video is showing. And that's it.